Good morning and welcome to Bible in a Year. As today we are on day 122 of 365 as we're going through the Bible in one full year. We're going from Genesis to Revelation because we want to tell the story of the greatest love story ever told. The love story between God and God's people. Now the Bible we have broken up into different sections known as the Adventure Timeline created by Jeff Cavins. And this right now we are in the period of royal kingdom. So we've gone through most of the Old Testament up to the time of King David. We followed with King Saul dying, and now we are in David, and he becomes, well, next week or tomorrow we'll be talking about how he becomes king over Israel. My name is Pastor Jay Lutz, and we are going through 2 Samuel chapter 3, 1 Chronicles chapters 3 to 4, and Psalm 25. A little bit about 2 Samuel 3. God's word is rooted in history. We follow the story through the line of David. Abner wants to reconcile with David, and he does, except for violence begets violence. And Joab learns that Abner is near, and he kills him in revenge because of his brother Asahel, though Abner killed him in self-defense. David publicly mourns the death of Abner, his enemy. He instructs Joab to wear sackcloth and tear his garments in grief. Because of his character, God has chosen David because of his wise leadership. We are called to forgive our enemies as David does. We need the wisdom in our relationships to be able to bring up healing for those who have hurt us and others. We can grow in trust and pray that the cycle of violence ends in our hearts so we can forgive and be reconciled. Now, the first Chronicles 3 to 4, we continue in the lineage of Judah through the sons of David and the kings of Judah. Chapter 4, we learn the other clans that were part of Judah, and we start going into the other 12 tribes, starting with Simeon. Psalm 25 is a psalm of David, a psalm of petition or lament, and we'll dive in now to 2 Samuel chapters 3. Now, the war between the house of Saul and the house of David lasted a long time. David grew stronger and stronger. The house of Saul grew weaker and weaker. Sons were born of David in Hebron. His firstborn was Abnon, the son of Ahinoam of Jezreel. His second, Chileab, the son of Abigail, the widow of Nabal of Carmel. The third, Absalom, son of Machah, daughter of Talmai, king of Geshur. The fourth, Adonijah, the son of Haggith. The fifth, Shephatiah, the son of Abital. And the sixth, Ithream, the son of David, wife Eglah. These were born of David in Hebron. During the war between the house of Saul and the house of David, Abner had been strengthening his own position in the house of Saul. Now Saul had a concubine named Rizpah, daughter of Aiah. And Ishbosheth said to Abner, "Why have you slept with my father's concubine?" Abner was very angry because of what Ishbosheth said, and he answered, "Am I a dog's head on Judah's side? This very day I am loyal to the house of your father Saul, and to your family and friends. I haven't handed you over to David, yet now you accuse me in offense involving this woman. May God deal with Abner, be it ever so severely, if I do not do for David what the Lord promised him in oath. Transfer the kingdom from the house of Saul and establish David's throne over Israel and Judah from Dan to Bathsheba." Ishbosheth did not dare to say another word to Abner because he was afraid of him. And Abner sent messengers on behalf to say to David, "Whose land is it? Make an agreement with me, and I will help you bring all Israel over to you." "Good," said David, "I will make an agreement with you. But I demand one thing of you. Do not come into my presence unless you bring Michal, daughter of Saul, when they come to see me." Then David sent messengers to Ishbosheth, son of Saul, demanding, "Give me my wife Michal, whom I betrothed to myself for the price of 100 Philistine foreskins." So Ishbosheth gave orders and had her taken away from her husband Paltiel, son of Laish. Her husband, however, went with her, weeping behind her all the way to Bahurim. Then Abner said to him, "Go back home." So he went back. Abner conferred with the elders of Israel and said, "For some time you have wanted to make David your king. Now do it. For the Lord promised David, 'By my servant David I will rescue my people Israel from the hands of the Philistines and from the hand of all the enemies.'" Abner also spoke to the Benjaminites in person. Then he went to Hebron to tell David everything that Israel and the whole house of Benjamin wanted to do. When Abner, who had 20 men with him, came to David at Hebron, David prepared a feast for him and his men. Then Abner said to David, "Let me go at once and assemble all Israel for my lord, the king, so that they may compact with you, and that you may rule over all your heart's desire." So David sent Abner away, and he went in peace. Just then David's men, Joab, returned from a raid and brought with them a great deal of plunder. But Abner was no longer with David in Hebron, because David had sent him away, and he had gone in peace. When Joab and all the soldiers with him arrived, he was told that Abner, son of Ner, had come to the king, and that the king had sent him away, and that he had gone in peace. So Joab went to the king and said, "What have you done? Look, Abner came to you. Why did you let him go? Now he is gone. You know Abner, son of Ner. He came to deceive you and observe your movements and find out everything you were doing." Joab then left David and sent messengers after Abner, and they brought him back from the well of Sirah. But David did not know it. Now when Abner returned to Hebron, Joab took him aside in the gateway, as though to speak with him privately, and though to avenge the blood of his brother Asahel. Joab stabbed him in the stomach, and he died. Later, when David heard about this, he said, "I and my kingdom are forever innocent before the Lord concerning the blood of Abner, the son of Ner. May his blood fall upon the head of Joab and upon all his father's house. May Joab's house never be without someone who is having a running sore or leprosy, or who leans on a crutch, or who falls by the sword, or who lacks food." Joab and his brother Abishai murdered Abner because he had killed his brother Asahel in the battle at Gibeon. Then David said to Joab and all the people with him, "Tear your clothes and put on sackcloth and walk in mourning in front of Abner." King David himself walked behind the bier. They buried Abner in Hebron, and the king wept aloud at Abner's tomb. All the people wept also. The king sang his lament for Abner. "Should Abner have died as a lawless die, your hands were not bound, your feet were not fettered. You fell as one falls before wicked men." And all the people wept over him again. Then they all came and urged David to eat something while it was still day. But David took an oath, saying, "May God deal with me, be it ever so severely, if I taste bread or anything else before the sun sets." All the people took note and were pleased. Indeed, everything that the king did pleased them. So on that day all the people in all Israel knew that the king had no part in the murder of Abner, son of Ner. Then the king said to his men, "Do you not realize that a prince and a great man has fallen in Israel this day? And today, though I am anointed king, I am weak. And these sons of Jeruah are too strong for me. May the Lord repay the evildoer according to his evil deeds." Here ends our first reading. Our second reading comes from 1 Chronicles, chapters 3 and 4. Now these were the sons of David born to him in Hebron. The firstborn was Amnon, the son of Ahinoam of Jezreel. The second, Daniel, the son of Abigail of Carmel. The third, Absalom, the son of Maacah, daughter of Talmai, king of Geshur. The fourth, Adonijah, the son of Haggith. The fifth, Shephatai, the son of Abital. The sixth, Ithream, by his wife Eglah. These 6 were born of David in Hebron, where he reigned 7 years and 6 months. David reigned in Jerusalem 33 years, and these were the children born to him there: Shemua, Shobab, Nathan, and Samuel. These 4 were by Bathsheba, daughter of Amiel. These were also Abal, Ibhar, Elishua, Eliphalet, Noga, Nepheg, Japhia, Elishama, Eliada, and Eliphalet, 9 in all. All these were sons of David, besides his sons by his concubines, and Tamar was their sister. Solomon's son was Rehoboam, Abijah his son, Asa his son, Jehoshaphat his son, Jehoram his son, Ahaziah his son, Joash his son, Amaziah, his son, Azariah, his son, Jotham, his son, Ahaz, his son, Hezekiah, his son, Manasseh, his son, Amon, his son, Josiah, his son. The sons of Josiah, Johanan, the firstborn, Jehoiakim, the second son, Zedekiah, the third, Shallum, the fourth. The successors, Jehoiakim, Jehoiakim his son, and Zedekiah. The descendants of Jehoiakim the captive, Shealtiel his son, Malchiram, Pedaiah, Shenazar, Jechemiah, Hoshama, and Nedabiah. Sons of Pedaiah, Zerubbabel and Shemiah. The son of Zerubbabel, Meshullam and Hananiah. Shelomith was their sister. There were also 5 others: Hashubah, Ohel, Berechiah, Hasadiah, and Jushab Hesed. The descendants of Hananiah, Pelatiah, and Jeshua, and the sons of Raphael, and Arnan, and Obadiah, and Shechaniah. The descendants of Shechaniah, Shemaiah and his sons, Hattush, Egal, Beriah, Neriah, and Shaphat, 6 in all. The sons of Neriah, Elionah, Hizkiah, Azrikam, 3 in all. The sons of Elionah, Hodaviah, Eliashib, Peliah, Akub, Johanan, Delaliah, and Anani, 7 in all. Chronicles chapter 4. The descendants of Judah, Perez, Hezron, Carmi, Hur, and Shobal. Rehiah, sons of Shobal, was the father of Jahath, and Jahath the father of Ahumeah, and Lahad. These were the clans of Zorathites. These were the sons of Edom, Jezreel, Ishma, and Idbash. Their sister was named Hazelelponi. Penuel was the father of Gedor, and Ezer the father of Husha. These were the descendants of Hur, the firstborn Ephrathah, and father of Bethlehem. Ashur, the father of Tekoa, had 2 daughters, Hela, and Nara. Nara bore him Ahuzam, Hefer, Temini, and Hahashtari. These were the descendants of Nara. Sons of Hela, Zereth, Zohar, Ethnan, and Koz, whose father of Anub, and Hazobeba, and the sons of Aharhel, son of Haram. Jabez was more honorable than his brothers. His mother had named him Jabez, saying, I gave birth to him in pain. Jabez cried out to God, to Israel, Oh, that you would bless me and enlarge my territory. Let your hand be with me and keep me from harm, so that I will be free from pain. God granted him his request. Kabul, Shua's brother, was the father of Meher, who was the father of Eshton. Eshton was the father of Beth Rapha, Paseah, and Tehina, the father of Nahash. These were the men of Rekha. The sons of Kenaz, Othniel and Sariah. The son of Othniel, Hathath and Meonothai. Meonothai was the father of Ophrah. Sariah was the father of Joab, the father of Harashim. It was called this because his people were craftsmen. The sons of Caleb, son of Jephunneh, Eru, Elah, and Nahum. The sons of Elah, Kenaz. The sons of Jehalelel, Ziph, Ziphah, Teriah, and Asarel. The son of Ezra, Jether, Mered, Epher, and Jalon. One of Mered's wives gave birth to Miriam, Shemaiah, and Ishbah, the father of Eshtemoa. His Judean wife gave birth to Jared, the father of Gedor, Heber, the father of Soko, and Jekuthael, the father of Zanoah. These were the children of Pharaoh's daughter Bithiah, whom Mered had married. The sons of Hodiah's wife, the sister of Naham, the father of Keilah, the Garmite, and Eshtemoa, the Maacathite. The sons of Shimon, Amnon, Rinnah, Ben-Hanan, and Tilon. The descendants of Ishi, Zohath and Ben-Zohath. The sons of Shaleah, sons of Judah, the father of Lakah, Lada, the father of Maresha, and the clans of the linen workers at Beth Ashbea, Jocham, the men of Kozeba, and Joash and Seraph, who ruled in Moab, and Jeshubi, Lahaim. These records are for ancient times. They were potters who lived at Netaim and Gedera. They stayed there and worked for the king. The descendants of Simeon, Nemuel, Jamin, Jereb, Zerah, and Shaul. Shalem was Shaul's son, Mibsham, his son, and Mishma, his son. The descendants of Mishma, Hamuel, his son, Zakur, his son, and Shemiah, his son. Shemiah had 16 sons and 6 daughters, but his brother did not have many children, so their entire clan did not become as numerous as the people of Judah. They lived in Beersheba, Moladah, Hazar-Shual, Bilhah, Ezem, Tolad, Bethul, Hormah, Ziklag, Beth Merkaboth, Hazar-Shusam, Beth Biri, and Sharaim. These were the towns until the reign of David. Their surrounding villages were Edom, Ain, Rimmon, Token, and Ashan, 5 towns, and all the villages around these towns as far as Baalath. These were their settlements, and they kept a genealogical record. Meshobab, Jamlech, Josha, son of Amaziah, Joel, Jehu, son of Joshabiah, the son of Sariah, the son of Asiel. Also Elionai, Jacobah, Jeshahiah, Asaiah, Adiel, Jezemiel, Benaiah, and Ziza, son of Shiphi, the son of Elon, the son of Jediah, the son of Shimri, the son of Shemaiah. The men listed above by name were leaders of their clans. Their families increased greatly, and they went to the outskirts of Gedor, to the east of the valley, in search of pastures for their flocks. They found rich, good pastures, and land was spacious, peaceful, quiet. Some Hamites had lived there formerly. The men whose names were listed came in the days of Hezekiah, king of Judah. They attacked the Hamites in their dwellings, and also the Maonites who were there, and completely destroyed them, as it's evident to this day. Then they settled in their place, because there was pasture for their flocks. And 500 of these Simeonites, led by Pelatiah, Neriah, Nephaiah, and Uziel, the sons of Ishi, invaded the hill country of Seir. They killed the remaining Amalekites who had escaped, and they had lived there to this day. Here ends our second reading. And our last reading comes from Psalm 25, a psalm of David. To you, O Lord, I lift up my soul. In you I trust, O my God. Do not let me be put to shame. Let my enemies triumph over me. No one whose hope is in you will ever be put to shame, but they will be put to shame who are treacherous without excuse. Show me your ways, O Lord. Teach me your paths. Guide me in your truth and teach me, for you are God, my Savior, and my hope is in you all the day long. Remember, O Lord, in your great mercy and love, for they are from of old. Remember not the sins of my youth and my rebellious ways. According to your love, remember me, for you are good, O Lord. Good and upright is the Lord, therefore he instructs the sinners in his ways. He guides the humble in what is right, and teaches them in his way. All the ways of the Lord are loving and faithful, for those who keep the demands of his covenant. For the sake of your name, O Lord, forgive my iniquities, though it is great. Who, then, is the man that fears the Lord? Who will instruct him in the way chosen for him? He will spend his days in prosperity, and his descendants will inherit the land. The Lord confides in those who fear him. He makes his covenant known to them. My eyes are ever on the Lord, for only he who releases my feet from the snares. Turn to me and be gracious to me, for I am lonely and afflicted. The troubles of my heart have multiplied. Free me from my anguish. Look upon my affliction and my distress, and take away all my sins. See how my enemies have increased, and how fiercely they hate me. Guard my life and rescue me. Let me not be put to shame, for I take refuge in you. May integrity and uprightness protect me, because my hope is in you. Redeem Israel, O God, from all their troubles. Here ends our third reading. This is a great psalm of redemption. And yet we hear of David, he admits that in his youth he has sinned. He sinned in his youth and was rebellious. And he says, but for the sake of your name, not his name, for the sake of your name, may you forgive my iniquities. Who then can fear God if there isn't forgiveness? Because David knows, like many others, that if it was up to our deeds, all of us would be condemned. No one would be able to make it out alive. But yet he says to God, I confide in you. I make my covenant known to you. My eyes are ever before you. May you guard my life and rescue me, that I might not be put to shame. May you hold me upright and redeem me as you do Israel. So this is beautiful. David not only sees himself as the greater part of the greater body of Israel, that he as a leader, he embodies all of Israel to some extent, but that also personally he needs to be made right before God in order that all of Israel at the same time may walk in uprightness and integrity. And so there's this beautiful correlation of both individualness, where he feels like he individually needs to have a deep abiding relationship with God, but also that collectively him and all of Israel need to be right before God and be upright in the things they do, and that he as a leader is the one that will show that. And so it's a beautiful picture that we see here. The other reading we saw is First Chronicles chapters 3 and 4. We see all the sons of David. Interesting how far down the line his son that reigns after him is, which is Solomon, who is one of the four of Bathsheba. And so, yeah, it's strange to see that. But then it goes through Solomon, and it goes through the reign of all the kings that come after him that are his descendants. And then the royal line after the exile. So remember that after Solomon, the the kings will be downhill until they're eventually taken up and taken into exile. Remember that this is the northern kingdom is taken in exile first by the Assyrians, and the south by the Babylonians. Then we also see a list of the clans of Judah and the clans of Simeon. Then our first reading, we talk about this war between the houses of David and Saul. David wants reconciliation. He wants to be at peace with them. He wants to make plant inroads to making a unified and united kingdom. And the leader of his army does not. He is embittered by the death of his brother, Asahel, and Joab wants revenge. And he gets it. And it ends up causing for mourning because Abner dies. And David mourns him because he knows that he was one who was protecting and leading the army of the anointed Saul. And so he gives him honor and praise. He rips his clothing when he dies. And then he curses Joab because of Joab's poor choices here. We see he forces him even to mourn and to rip his clothes and be in sackcloth because of the bad deed that he does here. We just ask God that we might, like David, see reconciliation as with all, even our enemies, that we may be made right with people in order that there might be peace in the land. May we always strive for peace at all possible times, if possible. I thank you for following along with me on this Bible in a year, and may you have a blessed day.